today's video, as you can see, we are back to talking NBA basketball. Super surprising, yes I know. Thank you guys so much for the major support in my other basketball video that did pretty well. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'm bringing back my top 10 series for top 10 players, and the past video, for that I did top 10 centers. Next week's will be, I'm not sure yet, maybe shooting guards, maybe power forwards, I'm not sure. It's going to be pretty interesting, so make sure you subscribe and also like the video. I very much do appreciate it a lot. But in today's video, I was running a little bit out of ideas. I was going to post a new gameplay, sort of maybe series on the channel. I am hopefully getting a game sometime soon, but it didn't happen, so I had to do a little filler video for you guys, and I try to come up with some quick witted ideas, and which is why I came up with a Fortnite video yesterday. Again, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and check that out. But after tonight, I hopefully will be back on schedule. But we're doing a buying or selling on NBA rumors around the league. So if you don't know the term buying or selling, buying is basically saying, yes, I do think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen. I agree with it. And then selling is if you disagree with it, don't think it's going to happen, wouldn't bet money on it. I guess you could say it in that term, but we're just going to go through a couple of sort of NBA rumors that are going on that this may or may not happen. It might be some things we've talked about before in trades. It might be talking about league news around the NBA sort of season, league teams, things like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. Okay, so right now I'm on another Bleacher Report, and yes, it is a buying or selling one. And the first one they actually show up on this report is Kelly Ubrey Jr. to the Warriors. Now apparently the Warriors have some sort of interest in Kelly Ubrey Jr. because this is the first time I've seen a sort of trade scenario revolving this. And I actually do really like this trade for them. He's a younger player who can still develop and grow with some of the other players that the Warriors may get throughout the year. He's still good enough to play with Stephen Clay and Draymond and help out that sort of team. Now the only thing I will say I would not agree with is if they traded the second pick for Kelly Oubre Jr. I pray that does not happen. That would be terrible for the franchise. That's not a good sort of flip. I think Kelly Oubre is good. He can be good. He can be, a 20-point per game scorer, the next Harrison Barnes type of player for that team coming into next season. But not worth the second pick. I'm assuming what they would do is trade Wiggins, maybe like a second rounder or something like that, and maybe another one of the role players they had on their team for Kelly Oubre Jr. Because I think the Suns know that Kelly Oubre is a little bit more of a well-rounded player than Wiggins. Of course, I think Wiggins is a better scorer than Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre Jr. averaged 18.7 points last season for the Suns, which is pretty good. Now, obviously, that's him on the Suns, him on the Warriors, with all the attention on Steph Clay. Draymond's going to be back too. I'm hoping where he used to be, so he's going to get a lot more attention as well. I think he's probably maybe averaging 20 plus points per game on that team. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm not entirely sure what his 3-point percentage is, but I think it's maybe better than Wiggins. I think he's probably a better shooter than Wiggins, but Wiggins is the better sort of scorer, probably the better athlete. The only selling point you can have for this sort of trade to make it more equal is just like, I guess like the star potential Wiggins still has. The potential of Wiggins is probably higher than Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre's already at his peak, and I think Wiggins can still actually develop into a better player, and I hope he does. He's the number one pick, came in the league very hyped up, and then sort of just plateaued the rest of his career, sort of stayed at a level headed. Never really peaked, but I think a trade with like Wiggins and a little bit of extra pieces in there would be fine. But God, if they traded the second pick for Kelly Oubre and then the Suns got like Wiseman or LaMelo or Anthony Edwards, oh my God, if they got Anthony Edwards, put Devin Booker at point guard, that's a tough team. Another one here is that of trade that we've all have seen in my videos, other people's videos around the league, a DeMar DeRozan trade. I think that it will be probably it's either going to be a draft day or a trade deadline day trade. If it does happen, it's not going to be an in-between thing. It's not going to be before the season. It's not going to be sometime in like January. It's going to be one of those 2 days. I feel like it probably has a more successful time would be the draft. I feel like the Spurs know that since they did miss the playoffs, the streak ended. It sucks, but they need to start developing the future. They have DeJounte, Derek White, Keldon Johnson. They have a good sort of young core they need to build on. And definitely, obviously, trading DeMar DeRozan off early would be great. Maybe trading off LaMarcus Aldridge would be beneficial too. So, I'm buying this for sure. I just don't think it's either going to happen like trade on draft night or at the trade deadline if the Spurs are obviously not doing well. If DeMar DeRozan demands a trade, something like that, I don't think he's going to get bought out. I think he's going to buy into his contract because I think he's probably going to get a lot of money. Again, the NBA is losing a lot of money right now, so the next time free agency comes up, the teams aren't going to be so highly into, signing players for, a lot of money. So now would be a good time to opt into player options and sit on that money that you're going to be making. So that's definitely a good idea. That was a pretty easy one. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan definitely 100% deserves to be. No offense to the Spurs organization, they're in a rebuild. They're going to be starting a rebuild. They're on the outside. They're at the very least outside looking in on the playoff race. So I think DeMar going to again a team that needs extra help, like a Bucks team or what else would be a good team? The Dallas Mavericks would be dope. Utah Blazers, Sixers. Actually, no, it's not enough shooting. You get the gist. Teams that need a little bit of extra push to help, topple them over. Teams like the Lakers, the Clippers, the super duper star teams. Or even Miami. Well, I talked about this in my last video. It wouldn't be the greatest fit. Have DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler playing on the same team, but I mean it's better than just having no DeMar DeRozan. So I think it'd be fine. But yeah, I'm definitely buying this. This is I say for sure. I might even put a little stamp on it. I for sure think that's gonna happen this season. Next up, we have a Victor Oladipo to the Bucks scenario. Definitely buy that Victor Oladipo is gonna get traded at some point in the season. Again, I think it's going to be a draft night one to get maybe a pick, or it's going to be a trade deadline one where they see what happens with the season, and if it doesn't really turn out the way they want to, they trade him away. It's going to be very similar to DeMar DeRozan. I think it's going to be like a crazy mid-season trade out of nowhere. Like, oh my god, wow. I think it's going to happen those 2 days as well. But to specifically the Bucks, I think I'm gonna sell this only because I think that the Pacers think that they can get a little bit more for Victor Oladipo than just Dante DiVincenzo and another Eric Bledsoe or something like that. I think they want to go younger than that. I think they want potential more. So I think trading for Oladipo for a top 10 pick would probably be more valuable than getting a Dante DiVincenzo and a few extra pieces and a second round pick. And obviously first round picks from the Bucks aren't going to be really useful at all. They're going to be top 25 picks for the next something odd years until Giannis decides to leave there. They're going to be a good team. Those picks are going to be worth a lot. So I do buy that Victor Oladipo is getting traded, just like DeMar DeRozan. It's going to be happening at draft night for a trade pick or on the trade deadline day. But specifically to the Bucks, I'm going to sell. I don't think that's going to happen. A team you could get traded to, I don't know, the Suns, if they want to, trade their pick and maybe one of their role pieces and get, Victor Oladipo out there, that'd be pretty cool. Again, a team that's probably outside looking in would probably be very the highest case scenario. I've seen also, we've talked about this in a video, Victor Oladipo getting traded to the Nets for Karis LeVert in pieces. I think that'd be awesome for the Pacers if they could get a Karis LeVert or Spencer Dinwiddie. That'd be awesome, but I don't think Victor Oladipo, well, I playoffs once in like the last like, I don't know, maybe like 18 years, probably since KG's been there. No, wait, did Kevin Love take him to the playoffs? I don't remember. But it's been a while. You know, it's been rough for Timberwolves and Timberwolves fans, I'm sure. Obviously, you have Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. That's a great duo. Obviously, development. They're still young. Could be, you know, a budding, you know, great combo, guard and big man. But as for superstar potential, they don't really have anything there. Obviously, Cat is an amazing player, but is LaMelo that guy for them? I am going to say, I'm going to say, God. It's funny because I want to say, who knows, like, sure, that could definitely happen, but my mind definitely says no. I would hate for them to take LaMelo Ball. Having LaMelo and D'Angelo Russell there at the same time will be so weird. They play almost the exact same. They're very highly offensive, ball-dominant guards. We just saw D'Angelo do that with Spencer Dinwiddie and the Nets, and that did fine, but Dinwiddie was, you know, a defensive, more minded player, played off the ball really well. Then we saw that in the Warriors, and that was very awkward, having two super ball-dominant players with Steph and D'Angelo. That was weird, and then Steph got hurt, and then that was awkward. And then now, I feel like D'Angelo, boom, now at the point guard position, he's grown as a player. He can try to be a leader that we all hope he would be for like the Lakers or the Nets. Now he can grow and be that role, and I think adding LaMelo Ball there would be kind of weird. I think Anthony Edwards is the safest pick in this draft. He can be, you know, the next sort of like a Donovan Mitchell type of player. Just very, obviously, more rusty on offense. Just needs a little bit of time in the NBA, and I think he'll be a really good player. You take a player like LaMelo Ball, and of course, LaMelo Ball has the highest ceiling out of everyone in this draft. But do I think that's going to happen? I don't think it is. I think he's going to be a really good player. I think he's going to be an all-star once, you know, a couple years, but I don't think it's worth it. I think just the better fit piece would be Anthony Edwards, and I feel like they know that, and hopefully they do that, or they obviously trade the first pick for, you know, maybe to Charlotte for their pick, and maybe you get like I don't know, you get like a good rotation player, you get something out of it, then Charlotte can get LaMelo Ball, and then LaMelo Ball can go number one, technically, so then he could, I would buy it. But for the Timberwolves, please God, no. I'm selling that LaMelo Ball goes number one. Another one here is that Rajon Rondo signs with the LA Clippers. Do I buy or sell this? I'm going to say sell. I feel like LeBron and Rajon Rondo really bonded during this season, as probably all those Lakers players did. It was a crazy season for everyone, but definitely for the Lakers for sure. And I feel like Rondo has a lot of respect now for the Lakers and for LeBron, and I just feel like he probably thinks that he has a better chance at winning a championship again there with LeBron and AD. Obviously, Anthony Davis is like barely in his prime, and he still has LeBron for another good LeBron run next season. After that, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a little bit sloped after that, but I feel like LeBron probably has one more like good playoff run in him, and then after that, I have no idea. But with that being said, I think Rondo probably stays with the Lakers, so I'm going to sell that he goes with the Clippers. Not saying that, the LA, you know, rivalry is going to make him not go. But I mean, the Clippers already have Patrick Beverley, who obviously isn't the sort of defensive player. You know, Rondo isn't the defensive player that Patrick Beverley is. Patrick Beverley isn't the, you know, maestro that Rajon Rondo is, but they do play very similar scoring-wise. The way they play the game, the way they run the floor, it's pretty similar, but they're similar in some ways, and I don't think they need two of those type of players. You know, in my opinion, you always want one and another. You want a good offensive guard and a good defensive guard. You want this or that, this or that. You don't want two of the same thing. So I don't think that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna sell that. I do think that Rondo does stay with the Lakers for sure again. Another one here is a trade rumor for Buddy Hield, and it's Buddy Hield gets shipped off. I do think Buddy Hield gets traded. you see where it goes. But I think Buddy Hield you can definitely get something out of. I think Buddy Hield is still one of those players who can be like the next, like, I don't know, like CJ McCollum type player who can just average like 25 plus points per game out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So maybe he goes to a team that really like gets that, or he goes somewhere and gets left behind the entire league. So I guess we'll see. But I do buy that Buddy Hield gets traded this season. Let us see here. Gordon Hayward gets traded. I'm going to sell this. I think Gordon Hayward will stay there for the last of his contract. I think he's going to accept his player option. He's going to play this entire season. Now, if the Celtics don't make a finals, if the Celtics don't make, the conference finals, I think the Celtics might blow up their team. That's kind of terrifying to think about, but I think they might. If the Celtics underperform this next season, I think they might do that. Now, obviously, that's not going to include Hayward, because Hayward would obviously be off the books. So I am going to sell that Gordon Hayward gets traded from the Celtics, but I do want to buy in that if the Celtics do not make a big boom this next season, I think they might blow it up. Now, is that a Jaylen Brown trade? Is that a Kemba Walker trade? I think obviously Jason Tatum's staying there forever because he's crazy of a basketball player. But is that a coach firing, a GM firing? Is that something like that? I think it is, and I think Celtics fans are waiting for their time to shine, because it seems like for the past 2-3 years since since Tatum and Brown, and oh my God, they're in the conference finals. Ever since then, it's been a very sort of, they've been plateauing. They need to break through it, and the East is just getting better. I mean, Giannis is just getting better. I mean, the Heat, just shell-shocked everyone, which was crazy. They barely beat the Toronto Raptors team, which was supposed to be a declining team without Kawhi, and they could barely beat them. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So I'm very excited to see what happens to them. But say they do make a conference finals, everything's fine. Maybe they do re-sign Hayward back for like a cheaper contract. I think that'd be really nice, but who knows? Wow, I didn't know so many of these were going to be trades. I'll do a couple more. Now we have a trade one as well, and it's one we've talked about I think before, and it's Andre Drummond getting traded. Now obviously I really do think Andre Drummond is going to get traded, so that is a buy. I feel like his game is just it's too old. I don't think anyone can really think other than that. I have no idea where he would get traded to. I mean, I'm trying to think of a team that needs a center. Maybe like the Raptors. The Raptors need a center. But I don't think they have any cap space, though. That's the problem. If that would happen, I wouldn't really know. But I think that's definitely a team the Celtics could make a run for if they throw in like some picks or something like that. Just teams that need a little bit of extra help getting over the hump. But that's definitely one I would buy. You think he might get bought out? Maybe, but that's a big contract, man. That's like 28 mil. So, I mean, if the Cavs just want to get that off the books real quick and just pay him out this season, that's totally fine. But I guess we'll just have to see. And then I think the last one was Fred VanVleet signs with the Knicks. No, I'm going to sell that Fred VanVleet signs with the Knicks. I hope so, at least for Knicks fans' sake. I don't think Fred VanVleet for like $60 million is going to be, what they really want as a big-time free agent signing. Hopefully they can get after like a Brandon Ingram, or, man, who's a free agent this season? I know we just looked at a list not too long ago, but a player more higher up than that. So, I think to the Knicks, no, but I do think Fred VanVleet leaves. I feel like he's maybe pushing to have a better role on a team, and obviously being behind Siakam, and you got Kyle Lowry, and then Norman Powell, who's been playing amazing as well. I have no idea if he really wants to stay there now. I do think he's probably their best perimeter scorer. I feel like you can put the ball in his hand and totally be fine with getting a good possession. So, I mean, if you can put that on like a Dallas Mavericks team, or let's see, I'm trying to think of other teams, or like, oh my God, the 76ers would be an amazing spot for him as him at the point for the Sixers with Ben Simmons at the 4 and Embiid at the 5. That's a pretty dangerous squad right there. So I think that'd be a pretty good squad. So I'm gonna sell that he goes to the Knicks, but I'm gonna buy in that he does move on from the Raptors, very slightly. I'm just like that's like a little like, oh, funny what if, you know. But he could definitely stay. I think he's probably a very loyal player. He seems like a really cool guy. So who knows? I think that's a pretty good one though. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was somewhat relaxing, somewhat entertaining, and yeah, tomorrow I'm hoping to be posting a gameplay video of a certain video game that just recently came out. If not, I'll probably be doing just another basketball video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that as well. So make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next video very, 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 very soon.